Guys, before we get started with this video, let me just say you guys are insane and you guys are absolutely amazing. On May 14th, 2020, I made a video thanking you guys for 500 subscribers. 6 days later, on May 20th, I made a video thanking you guys for 1,000 subscribers. 15 days later, June 4th, 2020, we have hit 10,000 subscribers. Actually, technically, we hit 10,000 subscribers on Wednesday, June 3rd. As of right now, when I'm recording this video, we actually have 10,857 subscribers. So we are right on our way to passing 11,000 subscribers already. Guys, from the bottom of my heart, really, thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel so far. All of the comments, all the likes, all the positive feedback, to everybody who's been joining the Discord channel, to anybody who joined the Twitch stream yesterday on Wednesday to do the 10,000 YouTube subscriber celebration. And yeah, for those that don't know, I do stream on Twitch every Saturday, Sunday morning, and Wednesday evening. You can find a link to my Twitch in the description down below. So yeah, whoever showed up to that, thank you guys. Look, I can't really express my gratitude and how much this means to me. All the support that you guys have shown, it's been pretty amazing. And so I've talked about this before, and for anybody who saw it, I did post a video on June 2nd that was basically just a forum for you guys to ask me a bunch of questions, whether it be about video gaming, Animal Crossing, or myself. And to celebrate 10,000 subscribers, we were going to do a little Q&A session. You know, there are a lot of people that say that you guys just like listening to me talk, and so I hope you guys are ready for a long one of just me talking. So kick back, relax, enjoy the Q&A. I'm going to be just sharing a bunch of stuff in regards to myself and video gaming right now. Really quick, number one, there were quite a bit of duplicate questions, and some of the questions that you guys asked were just like rewording of previous questions. So if you don't see your comment or your question pop up, it's because I figured that it was pretty much similar enough to a previous question that I didn't want to answer it again. And two, if I butcher your name, I am so sorry. All right, first question coming in from Georgia Kelly. What's your ultimate hints and tips for accumulating Nook miles? So as of right now, there's really not a need for me to spend Nook miles on anything, and so it's really easy for me to save them up. Otherwise, I do have a video where I show the inventory system I use in order to get anywhere between 8,000 to 10,000 Nook miles within about an hour. I'll post a link to it down in the description if you want to check it out, if you haven't already. Next question comes from William. First Nintendo or games console? The first games console that we ever owned as like a family was the Sega Genesis, but the first Nintendo console, and actually first games console that was technically like for me and my siblings and not just my dad's and we all played it, was the Pikachu edition of the Nintendo 64, and we also bought Hey You Pikachu to go along with it. I actually really wish that we still had that console. That thing looked really, really cool. Next question from Coda. What nationality are you? I am 100% Filipino. Bethy Boo asks, how to stay motivated on your island? Okay, so I don't really understand what that question is. I wonder if the question is like, how do you stay motivated to continue working on your island? To which my answer would be, just enjoy the process. Animal Crossing is not a race. It's not even a marathon. You're supposed to just enjoy Animal Crossing however you'd like to do it, whether it be terraforming, whether it just be fishing. There is no major objective to the game. Just enjoy it at your own pace, and that should be all the motivation that you need. If there was another way that question was supposed to be interpreted, I apologize, Bethy, but it's kind of like a pretty open-ended question, and I wasn't quite sure what you were wondering there. Ron's question, favorite game of all time? It was a toss-up between Final Fantasy X and Kingdom Hearts 2. Final Fantasy X was actually the game that really got me like heavy into gaming. Like, it was the first game that I looked up guides for, that I looked up strategies for, but Kingdom Hearts 2 came out a little bit later in my time, and I, again, like Final Fantasy X, got really into it with things like guides. As I got older, I started saying like Kingdom Hearts 2 was my favorite game, but Final Fantasy X was the first one. If I had to make a quick like snap decision, it would probably be Final Fantasy X, just because I have so many fond memories of it. Kara asks, would you ever do vlog style videos? It would really depend on the narrative of the video. Right now, my life isn't really that exciting to do vlog style videos. Every single day would just be me waking up, going to work, coming home, and then playing Animal Crossing, then going to bed. Not super exciting, and it would be the same thing every single day. So I mean, if there was anything in my life that got like super exciting, then sure, I could probably do a vlog on it, but but as of right now, I can't see any real reason for me to do a vlog anytime soon. Zara Raymond asks, where are you from? I'm a military brat. I was born in Germany, and then from there, I moved all over. I moved back to the United States, back to Europe, back to the United States, and then we started moving around the United States a little bit. So when people ask me where I'm from, I either just tell them that whole story, or I say that I'm from California, which is where a majority of my extended family and also where my parents are from. Maya wants to know, how did you meet your fiance? My fiance and I met around 2010, 2011, and we met through a ton of mutual friends. Nerd alert coming right here. We were both heavy into Magic the Gathering, and so were a lot of our other friends, and that's how we ended up meeting. Now, we don't really play it anymore, and neither do any of my friends that we actually met through, but that's how we met, and we've been friends ever since, and now she's my fiance. Charlotte says, maybe you already answered this question, but I'm a new subscriber and haven't had the chance to watch all your videos. How did you go about terraforming your island? Did you plan it out beforehand? Absolutely not. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing with my island when it came to terraforming. The amount of times that I put something up and then tore it down, or dug a hole and then filled it back up, is pretty absurd. I would say of the hours that I have spent on the game, more than 75% of it is undoing all the terraforming that I did. Really, just I started putting stuff out, it ended up working out, and there you go. Swag asks, how does it feel growing this fast? It's amazing seeing that only roughly a week ago you're at 1,000. So this question was actually asked quite a few times, so if you don't see your question again for this particular topic, I apologize, but it was asked quite a bit, and I have to say, it's been pretty spectacular. As I kind of said in the beginning of the video, it feels a bit unrealistic, actually, the amount of growth that the channel has gotten in just a short amount of time, considering the fact that I've seen some channels that, you know, they try and thrive for like 4 years and they barely make it past 1,000. And for this channel, we not only made it to 1,000 in less than 3 weeks from actually like starting to get subscribers, but then less than 3 weeks after that, now we're at 10,000. So really, I can't describe exactly how it feels in words. I can just tell you that it's pretty crazy. It's pretty overwhelming, but the response so far has been awesome. And so I'm just kind of taking it all in stride. Skelly wants to know, are you considering doing YouTube full-time if you grow further? Now, I think that's kind of a question that is always going to be at the back of people's minds whenever it comes to this thing. If you had asked me that when it was like 1,000 subscribers, I would say like there's absolutely no way. But with how fast the channel is growing, and like I mentioned, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers since yesterday, it's growing pretty quickly. I'm not gonna front and say that the thought of doing YouTube full time if I grew any more than this has not been at the forefront of my mind. If it ever happens, sure. And I've said this on stream before, really the key to that is really in your guys' hands. Anybody can go full time on YouTube at any time they wanted to, but it's you guys that determine whether or not that's successful. So am I considering it? You guys tell me. Jill Bears asked, I would love Animal Crossing to have a feature where you can add a grid to your island when you're building. What do you think? I think a grid system for Animal Crossing would be pretty cool. It would definitely make terraforming easier, and maybe not implement an entire grid, as that could probably be a bit of an eyesore initially, but maybe when you're terraforming, just have like a little box in front of your character that shows where things are going to go. I think that would at least help in regards to placing things like furniture, flowers, and particularly terraforming. Barb07's question, I'm curious, what kind of job do you have? Maybe that's too personal, but I'm really just curious what industry you're in. So again, this is another one of those questions that was asked quite a bit. I have mentioned in previous videos that I do work in the medical field, but I am not a doctor. I was never really specific in terms of what I did. I am a medical assistant in a private doctor's office where I live. What that means is, okay, here's the basic way to put it. Do you know the people you see in doctor's offices who aren't doctors, who are going around and checking people's vitals, drawing blood, and doing administrative paperwork and stuff like that? That's what I do. I'm not allowed to give medical advice. I give medical advice at the direction of the doctors and things of that nature. So I just do all of the other stuff around the office to keep it running. That way the doctors don't have to worry about it. But we still, as medical assistants, do a lot of medical things. ASDF asks, what are some of the games you're planning on uploading? Are you adamant on any of them for not knowing how your audience would react? Let me go ahead and just go back to the beginning. What are some of the games you're planning on uploading? I have absolutely no idea. To be honest with you, how I'm feeling in regards to playing games changes from day to day, and sometimes I want to play Animal Crossing, sometimes I just want to do shiny hunting on Pokemon, and other times I don't even want to play video games. It really depends on the day. Now, in regards to making videos for them and uploading them and how I feel like you guys would respond to them, I've already said in my super long 30-minute video about what this channel is about, I am already expecting that if I upload content that's not Animal Crossing, that the viewership is going to decrease significantly. In regards to things like how do I feel feel like you guys are going to react. I already kind of have a good feeling that some people are going to just tune out because it's not Animal Crossing. There's going to be a few people who are going to tune in just for me, even if they're not entirely invested in the game that's being played. Honestly, I'm not really expecting any backlash when it comes to those videos, just that the overall reception in terms of things like viewer count is just going to decline. Random Paradise asks, what is your favorite KK song? KK Disco. That weird guy. Will you answer this question? Yes. Resilient Gaming asks, when is the grind for Golden Flowers gonna happen? I'm not sure what you mean, but I'm currently not on a grind for Golden Flowers, nor do I ever think I will, so, never? Bian wants to know, what part of your island took the most time? Definitely the neighborhood for all of my residents, considering the fact that when I did it, I didn't time travel, so I had to move every building every single day. So for 10 residents, that was at least 10 days minimum. Not to mention I had the shops there too, so technically it took a total of about like 12 to 14 days to get that whole thing set up exactly how I like it in regards to moving buildings. Jamie wants to know, what video game or games means the most to you? Not just that it's a favorite, but it's particularly special to you. Interestingly enough, the video game that means the most to me is actually the original Metal Gear Solid from the PlayStation 1. And the reason that it's so special to me is because I remember my dad would just be playing it and me and my brother and sister would just be sitting there watching him for hours. And that was like my biggest introduction to video gaming, was just watching him go through the story, listening to the voice acting, and watching everything like unfold in front of you. It was really entertaining, and I really enjoyed that concept of being able to interact with your entertainment. A weird answer that I've never thought about before, but thank you, Jamie, for making me think about that. Mark Capriera, hey, just wanted an Animal Crossing tip. What are your rules on where you put your bridges and inclines, considering we have so few? To be honest with you, I don't really have any rules that I can think of in particular. I kind of was like, okay, I think a bridge could go here. I think an incline would go here. And so I put them down, and then they ended up working out. I just thought it would look good, and it did. And it paid off. We have one here from Gianna Chavez. Hi, I know you have other Nintendo content on your channel, so I was wondering how you felt about Animal Crossing being the game to get you a larger following. Were you expecting it? Do you think you will ever go back to recording platformers in different genres regardless? Thanks. You've really helped freshen up some of the AC content on YouTube. We appreciate you. Thank you, Gianna. In regards to Animal Crossing being the game to get me a larger following, to be honest with you guys, I'm not surprised. As she mentions, I do have some other Nintendo content on my channel, primarily like Pokemon and Mario Maker, but most of those, if not all of those, were just stream highlights. There weren't anything really searchable, and it's not like people were looking them up specifically when they were posted. So when Animal Crossing was the thing that kicked off the channel, I was not surprised in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. And in that regard, again, I'm not surprised that I've amassed the subscribers that I have because of Animal Crossing as well. As for when it comes to, do I think I'll ever go back to recording platformers in different genres regardless? I think so, yeah, but right now I'm like all about Animal Crossing, so I can't imagine myself playing Mario Maker 2 at the moment. Not to mention, for the streams, I played Mario Maker 2 almost every single stream for 6 months straight, so right now I'm a little bit burnt out on it, but I will definitely go back and record other things that aren't Animal Crossing at some point in the future. The homunculi has a slightly deeper one. What life lesson have you learned that changed you the most, or would be the best piece of advice to give to someone else? I would say that the biggest life lesson that I've learned actually recently, it's primarily because of the YouTube channel and the Twitch and stuff like that. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. The day that you start something, you can't immediately then just assume that you're going to reap the rewards of doing said thing. Sometimes it's going to take days, it's going to take months, it might take years, you never know. I was lucky enough that it only took a couple of months from when I actually started to try to make decent content on YouTube for the channel to do what it's done. So that's a lesson that I've learned just within the last couple of months, but really the life lessons that I apply to my life change based on what I'm trying to accomplish, whether it be emotionally or if it's a goal that I'm trying to accomplish. Before, the biggest thing that helped me through a lot was I would rather regret doing something than not doing something. Usually the biggest regret that you have that, you know, you end up thinking about later on in life are the possibilities of what would have happened if you had just gone forward with something that you were afraid to do in the first place. Now, I'm not saying take a leap of faith on every little opportunity that pops up, but I'm saying is like, you never know what kind of things can happen if you take a chance. Hope those two pieces of advice were helpful to somebody. Umar wants to know, do I think there should be a guy who buys fossils? Absolutely. I have so many fossils in my storage, and that's pretty insane. Claire Judkins asks, who is your favorite villager and least favorite villager in Animal Crossing New Horizons? My favorite villager is Lyman. He He has been one of my OG villagers on my island. I love his personality. I love talking to him. In regards to in general, I don't really have one. Least favorite Animal Crossing New Horizons villager, can't really think of any off the top of my head. There's like over 400. I haven't met or seen all of them, and so I don't really feel like I'm in a good position to answer that question. ID10 wants to know, what are some of your favorite childhood games? So really, it was anything that was Nintendo licensed, so a lot of the Pokemon games, a lot of the Mario Party games and stuff like that. Those are my real favorite childhood games that I can think of just off the top of my head. And then of course, like I mentioned, Final Fantasy X and Kingdom Hearts 2, depending on where the cutoff is for childhood games. Question from Dylan Rushberry, besides New Horizons, have you played any other Animal Crossing games before? And then he wants to know about my work in the medical field. In regards to Animal Crossing, I think I played the very first one when it was out on the DS, I think is when it was. I can't remember which platform it was on. I have played at least one Animal Crossing game before. I wasn't there for Wild World or New Leaf, so I didn't get to experience any of those, but this is certainly not my first Animal Crossing game. Marabella R asks, how many days have you been playing Animal Crossing and how much has it taken over your life? Well, I've been playing Animal Crossing every day pretty much since its release on March 20th. So in regards to how much it's taken over my life, I mean, I don't play it 10 hours a day, but it's definitely been integrated into my daily schedule. Comet has an Animal Crossing question. Do you consider hitting every rock on the island an essential task? I have tons of stones and iron nuggets already, and sometimes I don't have much time to play, so I struggle with choosing which daily tasks need completion. Not really, not anymore. Like you, I have a ton of stone and iron nuggets already, so I don't really feel the need to go around and hit my rocks every single day, but if I ever need them, then sure. But as of right now, not really. Ab wants to know, do I watch cartoons, not anime? And if so, what ones? I personally suggested Gravity Falls and Steven Universe. I have watched a little bit of Gravity Falls and I love Steven Universe. I would say that Bob's Burgers is also a really good one. I don't know if this falls into the realm of anime, considering it's on Nickelodeon. Avatar: The Last Airbender is probably my favorite cartoon if you're not considering it an anime. If you are considering it one, then obviously not. Which, by the way, if you don't know, Avatar: The Last Airbender is on Netflix right now as of this video is posted. If you have never watched it before, go watch it. It's amazing. Brendan wants to know, do you think there will be another big update soon for Animal Crossing? Yes, I do. Jin Tyson has another pretty hard-hitting question. What do you think about life? How do you feel about it overall? In regards to my life, I'm very happy with where I am in regards to my job, in regards to my financial standing, in regards to my current living situation. I can't really think of anything in my life in particular that I would want to change for the better, because everything thus far has been pretty great. So yeah. Noah B wants to know, how hard was it to gain subscribers? Not really difficult at all. Sometimes you just have to have like 1 or 2 good videos to show off who you are and what you do, and then that will sometimes kick off your channel. And that's what exactly happened to my channel when it came to my Animal Crossing videos. So if you are trying to gain subscribers, just don't give up. Becca wants to know, how did you start YouTube? I mean, that's a really interesting question. Again, this is one of those questions that's pretty open-ended, and I'm not quite sure how to answer it. I mean, I made a Google account and then I made a YouTube channel. I know that's not the answer you're looking for. I mean, I've been inspired by other YouTubers to make a YouTube channel before. I've already done a lot of gaming. I've also been told before, which you guys have now like basically confirmed with me, that I have a pretty good speaking voice. I figured this was probably a good opportunity to see whether or not it was true. Shiny Nachos asks, what is my favorite or least favorite hourly songs played during Animal Crossing New Horizons? Favorite song is probably 5 a.m. My least favorite song is not really a least favorite song, but it's kind of weird. It is the 3 a.m. song. If you guys have never heard the 3 a.m. song for New Horizons, just look it up really quick. It's different. Fireflower asks, do I prefer Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley? Well, they both have their positives and they both have the things that they do very well, and obviously they're like 2 completely different games in the overarching theme of each of them. Right now it's Animal Crossing, obviously, because I do it every single day, but if I'm looking for a game that has a little bit more depth to it, then obviously Stardew would be the choice there. So Caden had a pretty interesting question in regards to my favorite game ever. Caden wants to know, if I could change that game to have whatever I want in it, what do you change? I wouldn't change a thing. It's my favorite game for a reason, and sometimes adding things doesn't really do anything. Sometimes adding things may actually make something worse. And so honestly, when it comes to Final Fantasy X or Kingdom Hearts 2, don't change a thing. I grew up with how they were and I love them even to this day, and so let's keep it where it is. Amanda Kim wants to know, what was the first game you ever played, and are there any fond or infamous memories connected to that game? Also, are you single, and if so, how? And if not, what a wonderful couple you guys must be. Yep, so there you go, not single. I am engaged. In regards to the first game I ever played and there are any fond memories, the only game I can remember vividly playing back when I was younger was the Pokemon, I think I had Pokemon Blue and my brother had Pokemon Red, or vice vice versa at some point. The fond memories of just walking around trying to collect all the Pokemon with my brother, battling friends, trading with people. It's just all good memories all the time. Anne-Marie Hayes wants to know if I've moved any villagers out to bring in my dream villagers, and if so, could I share my experience on it? No, I've never moved out anybody to bring in a dream villager. Honestly, once I got all my starting villagers, I never actually went on a villager hunt until Kabuki moved out. Since then, I have not had a single villager ask me to move out, and so even when they do, I don't really have any dream villagers that I want to move in. I'll take a look at a list and see who I'd like to have on the island, but otherwise, we'll get whoever we can get. Oh man, 100+ questions. There's a lot of questions. Daniel McCafferty asks, will I ever do a room tour? Not really, to be honest with you. Terraforming my island and making my island look really good is still priority number one. Making my house look really good is probably the least of my concerns when it comes to playing this game. Nayara Sabrina asks quite a few questions, and I'm just gonna pick one of them. Do you think you will continue the game despite reaching 5 stars, having tons of money, etc.? Well, Nayara, I mean, I already have 5 stars, I already have a lot of money, and I'm still playing it every single day. So I think the answer to that question is yes. The only time that I would have to stop playing the game, honestly, is if just playing the game in general is so boring, or I'm just so burnt out on it that I'll stop playing it. Otherwise, I can't imagine myself not playing this game every day for the next, even couple of weeks. Alina Black has a Animal Crossing question. What are some small tips you have about terraforming and designing? Really, the only thing is patience. Not every idea when it comes to terraforming and designing is going to be a winner, and so you just have to take your time with it. Envision what you want and try it out. You may find that what you envision isn't actually possible in the game, either because of size or because you miscalculated something or things like that. So just take your time with it. To be completely honest with you, not the best designer. My island was just kind of a mishmash of ideas, and it ended up turning out pretty well. Like I said in a previous question, I didn't really plan it out, and so I just did the best that I could, and so just do the same. Rodrigo N, what things would you change about the game if you could, i.e. things like auto pickup? I actually made a video on this, and I think most people would agree when it comes to the usual things like being able to make things in bulk, being able to buy things in bulk, having some sort of system that allows you to see where you're terraforming. That way you're not constantly accidentally tearing down cliffs or digging holes where you don't need them to be, and then some sort of durability meter that shows you exactly how far along a tool is before it breaks, things like that. The Oozman wants to know if you could add another villager species, which one would you add? Probably owls. I love Blathers and I love Celeste, and I think owls would be really awesome. Melody Wong wants to know, how did you make so much money on Animal Crossing? I'm new to the game and it seems like such a long ways away. To be honest with you, Melody, it was buying turnips and selling them at decent prices. Like a Fish wants to know, what's my favorite villager personality type? I think Lyman is a jock. I'm just gonna double check here really quick. Yeah, Lyman is a jock, which I know sounds really bad, but I don't know if it's just how he looks or what, but it actually fits his appearance, and it's made me really enjoy the different things that Lyman says. Salty Raspberry, another Animal Crossing question. What was your favorite thing to make on your island, such as the museum area, the secret beach, the area you've placed your villagers, etc.? Probably the residence area, not only because it was so rewarding when they were all finally moved into the neighborhood, but just how it looks in general when you're walking through it. It's really nice to walk through. So Urfis is asking a question that a lot of people have asked me before, and that's, would you consider doing island tour videos? I think that most of the top Animal Crossing content creators that are on the platform right now all are pretty much doing island tour videos, and I'm going to be the outlier and say that unfortunately I don't ever plan on doing island tour videos. I feel like the content for that shifts away from me and more on the island, which I know is a bit weird because that's what people are looking for, but this channel and what I do on it, I want it to be focused primarily on the things that I do. This would also help me when I post things like other content, because I don't want people to just come to my channel for island tour videos, and then when I post something like Pokemon, they absolutely don't care because they're not even coming to the island tour video for me. They're coming to the island tour video for the island. As weird as that sounds and as bad as that may sound, yeah, no intention of doing island tour videos. Rye Guy Oof asks, which Animal Crossing villager would you like to eat? Beverly wants to know, do I like to listen to music? If so, what are your current favorite songs and musicians? So Beverly, I'm not gonna lie to you, if you were to ever pull out my headphone, you would most likely find me listening to some sort of lo-fi hip-hop, things of that nature, like chill hop. And the reason for that, honestly, is because of the fact that it's just so relaxing. I get to actually be with my thoughts with something in the background without the major distraction of singing and stuff like that, or some really heavy instrumentation. And depending on the environment, sure, I can go for some more upbeat hip-hop and R&B songs and stuff like that, which is what I generally grew up with. As of now, I tend to listen to just music that has a very relaxing, chill coincidence type of feel to it to kind of just help me relax. All right, next question from the Noah Ninja. What's your inspiration for things on your Animal Crossing island? Why do you think that is for whatever it is? There was no inspiration. Initially, like everybody else, I did the Japanese theme because we had things like the cherry blossoms, so it made a lot of sense. But honestly, no inspiration there. I was just like, this looks cool, let's put that here. That looks cool, let's put that there. And lo and behold, now you have my island. Jay Carrasco wants to know my craziest high school stories. I used to be into hip-hop dancing when I was in high school. In my senior year of high school, they were doing a pep rally, and there were a lot of people who were getting up and going to the middle of the gymnasium, and they were doing a lot of the dances at the time, like, oh god, this is gonna sound so weird if you don't know what I'm talking about. The stanky leg, the two-step, the jerk, and things like that. So my friends that knew that I hip-hop danced and stuff like that, they were like, dude, go down there and you should do it. I went down there, and, you know, people were kind of like, what's going on? What is Ryan doing? Why is he out there? I started dancing and the whole place went nuts. Sometimes I think about that time from time to time just because it was so energetic, just feeling everybody like scream when they found out that I could dance. There were a lot of people at that school who didn't know that I could do that, and so when I did, it was pretty crazy. Winter has a pretty interesting question. Have I ever felt demotivated to make videos? And honestly, probably not. I feel like when it comes to things like being demotivated to make videos, it's because of things like you're not sure if people are going to like it. I don't want this channel to be determined based on what you guys like or what you don't like. I understand the success of a channel is going to be based on views and how much in general the channel is received, but to be completely honest with you, I would say that my integrity and just playing video games and being true to myself and making these videos naturally led to the channel growing to where it is now. So as long as I maintain that genuineness and just make videos on my own accord and as I feel like it, then the channel will keep growing as it has, because there hasn't been any sign lately that shows that that's not going to happen that way. David wants to know, do I think Raymond is overrated? You know, I don't really think any of the villagers are overrated. I do think that sometimes the fanatics can be a little bit cringy. I can totally see why Raymond has the redeeming qualities that make people want to have him on their island. It's not so much of an overratedness, more so than I don't understand how people can get so hyped for him. I understand why he's a cool villager, but the hype is pretty extensive. Splatoon Crossing wants to know what capture card I recommend for starting a YouTube channel for gaming. If you're doing things like console gaming, I have an Elgato HD 60 Pro. If you do have a decent PC, I would always recommend to play on PC no matter what. If there's a console version and there is a PC version and you have a decent PC, always run the PC version. It's going to look better in the long run. But if you're strictly a console gamer like PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch, then definitely the Elgato capture card, whether or not it be the one that's integrated into your computer or the one that kind of sits out. Sarah wants to know, have I ever named something after something in Animal Crossing? Not in real life, but I did recently on a Stardew Valley playthrough name my dog Lyman. Numerous Shibian's question is, do I play Pokemon? If so, what is your favorite Pokemon? I do play Pokemon, and I plan on playing Pokemon whenever the new DLC comes out. In regards to my favorite Pokemon, if I had to just make a quick like snap judgment, it would probably be Spheal, because he's like a seal that just looks like a ball, and it's hilarious and I love it. Jadel says, hey Ryan, what's your favorite Filipino food? You've mentioned that you'll do a cooking and stream vid on Twitch. Are we going to see that soon? Thanks. Congrats on your success. That was a joke. I don't think I'll ever do a cooking stream or any video like that ever, because one, I don't really have the space for it, and two, who would really be interested in that? As for my favorite Filipino food, I do love me some chicken adobo. For anybody who's never had Filipino food, I basically just said a ton of different letters in a fashion that you have absolutely no idea about, but Jadel, I know you know what I'm talking about. Chicken adobo is fantastic. Super wants to know what my favorite color is. It's blue. It's every version of blue. It doesn't matter what blue it is. Blue, blue, blue. Henry's question is, what do you suggest to players that are on the grind but are getting a bit tired of the game? What can you do while you're bored? Honestly, Animal Crossing is supposed to be what you do when you're bored. If you're playing Animal Crossing and you're bored playing Animal Crossing, then just stop playing Animal Crossing. The beauty in Animal Crossing is that no one's supposed to tell you how to play the game. Yes, there are little things that you can do every single day to keep you playing the game, like watering your flowers, trying to get hybrids. It's a video game. You're supposed to do that when you're bored, and if you're ever not feeling the game, then just turn it off, unfortunately. You shouldn't force yourself to play a video game because you feel like you're supposed to be having fun with it. If you're very clearly not, then just turn it off. Probably not what you were looking for, but that's, you know, in all honesty. Freshman and a few others wanted to know my thoughts on buying villagers and items for Animal Crossing. So when it comes to buying items for Animal Crossing through things like Nookazon, I don't really see any problem with that. When it comes to buying things like villagers, now this is like a touchy subject for people. I can't say that I have a problem with that, but I can totally see people's arguments as to why something like that isn't really good for the economy. But it's not like there's like 10 Raymonds in the game and you can only get the 1 out of 10 Raymond. If you want to spend 500 Nook Miles tickets on a villager, then so be it. If you don't want to spend 500 Nook Miles on a villager, then so be it as well. I don't think people should go around telling people how they should feel about playing Animal Crossing. Goes against everything that Animal Crossing is about. Katie Butler asks, how long have I been streaming and posting on YouTube? If you were to look at an overarching like time frame of my journey on YouTube, it actually extends all the way back to 2010. As I mentioned earlier, I was big into Magic the Gathering around that time, and I actually made Magic the Gathering videos. Ever since that time, I've always wanted to get back into the space of making YouTube videos. Technically, you could say 10 years, but if you were looking at like legitimately trying to make content for the sake of like actual content, then just within the last maybe 6 months or so. Nasha says, I'm a really big fan of your videos, thank you. My question is, what made you start playing Animal Crossing? Back in the day when I played the first Animal Crossing game, it was just because it looked like a really fun kind of cartoony game that you could, I mean, you could talk to animals, you can do different things that, you know, like dig up fossils. I was like, okay, this seems really cool. And since the first game, I've always been a fan of Animal Crossing. I just never had the major desire or anything like that to play the other Animal Crossing games. But now that I have a Switch and they announced that they made Animal Crossing from it, I was already like, yep, I'm gonna get Animal Crossing. I remember when I loved it as a kid. I'm sure I would love it now. Q-Tip says, I'm a big fan and I have one question. What goal do you have set for the channel? Do you hope to reach 50k subs? We'll start back to front. Do I hope to reach 50k subs? I think that would be nice. It's not a hope because I'm enjoying the journey, right? If 50k subs happens because I'm enjoying the journey, then so be it. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to hope for 50k and then never achieve it, or I don't achieve it as fast as I wanted to. That's a quick way to really get demotivated to do stuff like this. And so my goal, which goes back into the first question, what goal do you have set for the channel? Make awesome entertainment for you guys, make cool content that I enjoy putting out there for the world to see, and that's it. If that goal that I have of just making content all the time that is worth of your guys' time, I can almost guarantee you that 50,000 subs is going to happen without me even worrying about it. Eric Rodriguez had a couple of questions, but one of them I basically already answered. I'm going to answer the second one. If you could instantly master and stream gameplay for any game ever made, what would you play? And I know this is going to be kind of like a weird answer. The answer honestly is nothing. I don't hope to be the master of any game and then stream it because one, I feel like I would get bored of streaming or playing that game all the time because what is there to do? And second, I always think that the best part about doing anything is the learning experience. I think there's nothing more accomplishing than when you learn how to do something and then you do it correctly, or you figure something out due to your own intuition and then you implement it into your own thing. In regards to things like video gaming, I'm really big into always learning. I'm really big into just enjoying the journey and the process. So yeah. Filled to the brim. Have you ever bought or sold villagers specifically over Discord or Nookazon? If so, what has your experience been with it? If not, why not? No. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, it's not that I have a problem with buying villagers and things like that on Nookazon or over Discord. One, I don't really have that many Nook Miles tickets. And two, I mean, I don't really like have any dream villagers that I want. And I don't think so highly of a villager that I want to go out and then buy them. And so I really have no motivation to buy villagers, let alone sell villagers. Abby wants to know, if I were an Animal Crossing villager, what animal would you be and what would your personality be? Honestly, I think koalas are awesome, and I would actually totally be the jock personality, which I know is basically Lyman. He's a koala with a jock personality, but just hanging around him all the time, I really enjoy his company, and so I would probably just copy that completely. Catherine Vieira has a pretty hard-hitting question. What are you wanting most in your life right now? Everything's been going pretty well so far. You know, I would say that you can always use more money, but to be honest with you, I've been happy without more money, and so I know that even more money would make me probably more happy, or, you know, more money, more problems, maybe it won't. But yeah, other than that, I can't really think of anything in particular in my life that I want right now. Things are going pretty well. And Randy asks, what is your favorite Animal Crossing villager? I already said it like a million times. It's Lyman. Now, if you're asking for a species, I can't really think of one. Lyman's my main man. He's been there since the beginning, and I will never ever let Lyman go whatsoever. Man, I don't know how many questions I just answered right there. That was a lot. If there are any questions that you guys asked that didn't get answered, I apologize. Some of you guys did leave like 4 or 5 different questions, and I have to say, this is the first time I've ever answered a lot of questions within the span of like an hour, so it does get pretty exhausting. So I did just end up choosing, if you left more than one, the question that I thought was the most informative in regards to the game or gaming in general, or just me. I hope that was enjoyable for you guys. I'm exhausted now. I've answered so many questions, but I have to admit it was pretty fun. So once again, everybody, I just want to say thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers on the channel so far. The growth, as I always say, has been absolutely insane. If you want to follow me outside of YouTube, there's links to my socials down below in the description, to my Twitter and my Instagram. Also, feel free to join our Discord channel that has been growing a lot in the last couple of days. I've been getting to know a lot of you guys on the Discord channel, and if you want to join our little community as well and interact with me off stream, go ahead and join our Discord channel. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video as well, I do stream on Twitch every Saturday and Sunday morning and Wednesday evening as well. If you ever want to hang out live and watch me play games, or just ask questions, or just chat with our community, as always, link in the description for my Twitch channel. Otherwise, guys, that'll do it for this video. I'm exhausted from answering all those questions, and yeah, thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers again. I really appreciate it very much. I don't know the next milestone that we'll hit, but whenever we do hit it, I'll see you there. Thank you guys so much again from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you around. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.